still they are believing giving WhatsApp message, having post for Pongal, having post for Diwali bring their business. That doesn't happen. Marketing is not that. If you don't say who you are, the world will never understand who you are. Many people think digital marketing agency as a graphic designing agency, not a marketing agency. Most of the marketing agencies also does give their code because they get 20,000 or 20,000 from them and give 5 posts or 10 posts in a month. I would rather say use the 20,000 rupees, donate to some NGOs. Both are same.
I am a company. I have a website. I'm preparing myself to get ranked on Google. I don't have much of budget. Let's start from there, and with budget but don't know where to start.
B2B never spend on marketing. There are multiple industrial websites that I have seen since 30-40 years, same website. That's something the common mistakes been done. People usually go behind hacks rather than doing the fundamental things. Hacks can give traffic immediately, but the fundamental things can give you business. The people who use AI can replace the one who doesn't know what is AI. The most common way people use AI is something a bullshit, I would say. Just they'll go, can you please write on this topic? AI will kill you. Don't blindly believe what AI says. Even ChatGPT says I am a chat robot. All the suggestions given by me cannot be true. Revalidate this. We don't write content using ChatGPT because it will not be 100% humanized. Using AI is still creative, and you can ask what is the solution for this pain point? How will you address this? Give me 10 ideas.
For industrial companies, what do you see are the mistakes that they make? First thing is, most of them don't even have a website. We are not globally competitive yet. That is the cold hard truth. So for us to get globally competitive, whichever part of India or maybe abroad somebody is watching, what and all they need to focus on. Digital marketing and artificial intelligence have been a buzzword for the past few years, but what does it mean for the industrial and B2B sector? Why is it important for companies to have a robust digital marketing strategy? How can you use artificial intelligence to improve the efficiency of your marketing campaigns? What are the basics and most common mistakes that B2B companies make in their marketing? Why your website creates the first impression for your potential customers? Why is SEO very essential and still very relevant in today's day and age? And much more topics are covered in this podcast. Our guest today is Mr. Ashkar Gomez, founder of 7 Eagles. He's a digital marketing expert specializing in B2B SEO and performance marketing with over a decade of experience in sales and marketing. If you are new here, welcome to the channel and another episode of The Master's Edge. I'm Sibi, partner and co-founder of 2 companies, CNV Engineering and Vesta Industrial Solutions. We're an engineering components sourcing and supply chain company where we specialize in contract manufacturing, fasteners, custom CNC cutting tools, and engineering components in metals, brass, and plastics. And we are based out of Coimbatore City, Tamil Nadu, India. I'll leave the link to the website if you're interested to know more on what we do. Over the past decade of working in the corporate sector and running our own businesses, we've had the pleasure of interacting with a diverse range of professionals across domains. This podcast is our way of sharing that knowledge with the world. We've had more than 10 guests on our show so far. So before we start, most of the guests we bring on the show are seasoned experts in their field and they don't have much of an online presence. It takes a lot of time, effort, and money to organize these episodes. All we ask is that you consider subscribing and share this episode with at least one person who might find this interesting. It greatly motivates us to bring more such guests from diverse backgrounds. I leave the timestamps split topic wise so that you can skip ahead to the parts that you find interesting. I recommend switching to 1.5x video speed for a better viewing experience. Let's get started. Welcome, brother. I'm so glad to have you here.
Thank you so much.
You've come a very long way for this podcast, and I thank you for taking out the time and doing this for us.
Yeah.
So we usually start off this podcast with a small intro from the guest itself.
Yeah.
So who is Mr. Ashkar Gomez and what do you do?
Okay. So
before we start, my co-host is not here today. He's on a business trip. So on the next episode, you'll find him. So please continue.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much for inviting me. Myself, Ashkar. I'm into this marketing space for last more than 10 years. I would say like 11 years. So started as a sales rep, to be precise, the medical representative into pharma companies. And then slowly I learned SEO as well as the content marketing as my part of my habits and the passions towards the marketing thing. And slowly, there 2019, I started 7 Eagles, which is one of the leading growth marketing agency that is highly focusing on B2B services. And I'm just running this company for the last 5.5 years with nearly 35 plus employees. And we have a full setup of a complete marketing and a tech base for businesses.
So you're predominantly focused on B2B, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Before we get into the professional side of things and the questions, we usually want to know the guest's journey before the professional journey. So where do you hail from? Where do you what line of work were you before the hospital marketing thing, all that?
Okay. So I started.
Where are you from? We want to know the backstory of
Okay.
Ashkar Gomez.
So I'm basically from Tuticorin, which is that's south down south of
Deep south.
Kappadu. Yeah. So I did my schooling there, and I graduated from Anna Institute Trichy. The year 2014, and then I'm a major bachelor into pharmaceutical technology, so that's how pharma came into my life. And I started my career into Novo Nordisk as a sales representative, then I moved into Roche, and then into Bristol Myers Squibb. So these are the three companies I worked in before I started the company Seven Eagles. So to be frank, it's not been a pre-planned
so you were an accidental entrepreneur.
Yeah, of course, yes, accidental entrepreneur. That was a period 2019 starting or 2018 late. That was a period I was into the financial plannings. Suddenly a situation came where I have to pay 60,000 as tax while closing the tax returns. That was the time I was being a clueless why 60,000 I have to pay, because companies do still take TDS and still I have to pay, and that's how I started learning about finance. And so while started learning about the personal finance, I got to know about a point known as the retirement planning, which everyone does know that. Yeah, you earn 15,000 or 20,000 a month, and
side income.
Yeah, that's how it started. And if I throw that into the index funds or the SIP, I would retire between 40 to 45. That's a calculation I made, and that's how Seven Eagles started. And since I started as a marketing agency, I have to have a website, and the first day it became an agency.
Okay.
But at that time I was a single man. So solo agency man, and slowly 2020 end I started hiring the first team member. 2021 again the second team member, and then few interns were there. We ended the year 2023 2021 with 2 employees, and the year 2022 we moved to 6 people, and 23-20, and currently we are 30-35. Yeah, amazing growth, brother. Today, digital marketing has become essential for almost every type of business, be it a small boutique shop to a big company. Digital marketing is essential. Let's start from the basics, okay? From a beginner level, what are the basic elements of digital marketing? Before going deep diving into digital marketing, let me clear the myth here. Digital marketing is still a marketing, okay? But the only difference between a traditional marketing or a digital marketing is the marketing that runs through the help of internet is known as digital marketing. So if you use internet to promote yourself, be it WhatsApp, be it search engines, be it ads that comes in Google, YouTube or Meta ads, be it a bulk WhatsApp, anything done through the internet, email marketings and everything that's run through internet, it's simplified as digital marketing. And it started with the social media or the search engines earlier time. Even before search engine, social media, search engine were the only platform where it has been used with the internet. Then slowly email came, WhatsApp, even the social media is dominating currently. And the other set of the podcast that we are seeing, correct, and the communities that the community webinars that's happening, the live LinkedIn live. So everything comes under the digital marketing space. And what are the things I just said are essential for a B2 business to brand itself, to grow itself, as well as to take inbound leads. Right. So these are the basics. Our audience is predominantly into the B2B B2B space, and the subset of that would be an industrial space. Let's deep dive into B2B marketing. Yeah. This podcast is mostly about extracting as much information from you about B2B marketing as possible. Yeah. Because only an expert like you could answer such questions. Let's start with some of the common mistakes in B2B marketing. And I want you to cover go-to-market, ABM. What is the difference between growth marketing and performance marketing? What is performance marketing? What is growth marketing? All that. I think I'll leave it to you from here. Sure. Basically, why I got interested more on B2B is something, my own business comes under B2B. So the strategy that we are work, or the marketing plans that we want to work, is completely into the B2B sector. And that's how we started getting interest over there. And we worked with a couple of B2B SaaS, fintech companies, even health tech, as well as the industrial. So anything that comes into B2B is something that we have been well familiar with, because we are pushing ourselves in both search engines, be it organic or be it ads. We have done ABM for us. We have seen results not only for us, also for our clients. So through ABM, content is something that we have been building. We have a content team for that. So in a nutshell, B2B marketing. So as you started with, what are the common mistakes? The biggest common mistake I usually see is B2B never spend on marketing. That's
True.
something
Yeah.
I usually see. This is not typically towards an industry or else
Generally,
an IT services company. Even a marketing agency like me doesn't have a proper website. So even if it's a proper website, should have been updated 3 years or 5 years or 10 years prior to that. Or else there are multiple industrial websites that I have seen, which is since 30-40 years, same website. So that's something the common mistakes been done, which means like the complete business is being run through the referrals. I'm not against referrals for sure. Referrals is one of the thing. I like to quote something that I usually look at a mechanism of our own in our own 7 eagles in terms of the marketing. We use 4 wheels into this. First one is like outreach that everyone exactly do. So outreaching to your warm audience who either know us or else with word of mouth.
Mutually connected.
Yeah. So that's outreach to the warm audience. The next thing is advertising. The advertising comes under the performance marketing. If you don't say who you are, the world will never understand who you are.
Correct.
The first thing is you have to establish. Like I rank for a couple of keywords like best SEO expert in India, or else we as a company we rank for the SaaS SEO agency, SaaS marketing agency kind of thing. And we are not here to say like we are the best, but we are the best known. So marketing helps you to make sure you are a best known.
That is the edge that it gives you.
Yeah. Like everyone knows the best known beat the best.
Correct.
True. That's something that. So the second cycle, as I said, like we have to speak about us through ads. In terms of B2B, meta ads is not that great. Like as such as D2C, but LinkedIn does that job what a meta can do.
LinkedIn is an amazing platform for both content marketing as well and for advertising, especially if they're selling high ticket items. It's an amazing platform.
LinkedIn, like LinkedIn and YouTube can be your
combination. Yeah, correct.
And Google Ads could be somewhere where you can use as a commercial intent keywords, and both LinkedIn as well as Google can be used for conversion. So this is how B2B advertisement works. And the third channel is content. So content can be of anything, the podcast or else LinkedIn. Like the content that we write in LinkedIn, the newsletters we write for our subscribers or else for our customers, the blogs that we write in our website so that our commercial pages rank. So everything comes under content. The content has multiple frameworks. One is text, audio, video, anything that you put into that, it will at least attract a couple of people. Even if it doesn't attract your target audience, it will again attract your ideal candidates to your company. Correct. Which is one of the important
recruitment also. Yeah.
So that also helps because like everything that you do is for branding. Why I tell this is since the digital marketing is been surging like anything, people have forgotten marketing is different from branding. Nothing like such that. Like that's one of the blender mistake people usually do. First, we have to start with branding. Wherever you go, position yourself. Your messaging should be clear. So who you are, whom you want to sell, what is your target audience.
Can you expand upon that with an example?
Yeah, sure. Let's say like you can also quote me some kind of an
example.
I'm not an example, kind of an target client.
Okay, let's say I'm selling a washing machine. So, for example, I'm an electronics manufacturing company. I'm selling a washing machine. I'm a local manufacturer. I have no marketing experience, but my products are good. I have this in my mind that I have to be well known. What are the basic steps? From basics you start. Yeah. We will cover all aspects of marketing within this example.
The first thing you should be clear is the ICP. So who your ideal customer profile is.
Okay.
So ideal customer profile, it's something like we split into a couple of questions. The first thing is who is the buyer persona there? So who is the decision maker there? So this is something relevant to a persona. The next thing is what are the industries they would be. The third thing is how many number of employees they should have. So that's how you can brief
categorize the ICP.
Yeah, like your pricing things kind of thing, as well as the ticket size that you're gonna take. Like if you're going to sell a product of let's say like $2,000, like $20,000 ACV, you can't sell that to a company that is having a 5 employee.
Correct.
Because the revenue would be low. So correct. Employee count.
So based on the ticket size, your ICP also changes. Yeah. Okay.
So ICP is something that is not a fixed one and it should be constantly evolving. So it evolves as such. You are changing your pricing, you are changing your services strength. As your
team is also expanding.
Everything has to be changed.
It's dynamic.
So this is how you will be framing who your target audience is, which is again like ideal customer profile. The next thing is how you are going to differentiate yourself from your competitors and how this particular differentiation is going to connect with your target audience. So this is what we speak about the messaging. Messaging can also change but messaging is something should not be changed until unless it's overall. I mean, like the core messaging is
The
changed.
entire strategy is
Yeah.
changing. Messaging should not be changed.
Should not be changed, and in every marketing activities you do, the messaging should be very much clear. The third thing is positioning.
I think it should be clear across the channels.
Yes, everywhere.
Email, social media, every website,
Yeah.
everywhere.
I mean, like people know Seven Eagles as a growth marketing agency because we position as that.
Correct.
We don't position ourselves as a digital marketing agency, and now we have been very much clear as growth marketing agency for B2B and SaaS. So this is so clear. So in this particular
Growth
position,
marketing agency for this
Yeah.
persona.
so what I'm gonna sell as at the same time
Who I'm
you are
going
gonna
to sell.
So this is very much clear. So but the thing is, we have to keep telling this in every promotions that we do. So after ICP, the messaging, and the next comes the positioning. So in which position you're gonna position? I mean, like in the terms of washing machine, what is the differentiation you're gonna tell to your customer?
Is it a
in-
premium position,
Yeah.
mid-tier,
Mid
low
position.
tier? Okay.
Or else if this particular product is going to add any other value kind of thing. I mean, like for an example, like about a particular spare kind of thing. Okay, so if in terms of the industrial manufacturing things, I would say, like if there is a spare that comes out for an AC or else washing machine, if and you are the manufacturer of that particular washing machine, so you can tell this, if you replace this spare, your energy efficient would reduce by 60 times.
16 times. Okay.
So the cost on the customers when they use the washing machine, the complete load comes down. So this is how you will be positioning your product, and then you will be reaching out to your customer. So these three things have to be very much clear. If that's not been that clear, your marketing campaigns would fail because there will not be clarity in something. And you would say like every brand has become a brand because they followed a particular positioning, a particular messaging. And it's not about B2B. Even if you take the cases of D2C,
yes.
Milo, Boost, or else Horlicks, everything, and even Complan, everything comes under same category, which is a health mix. I won't say it's a health mix, but still,
Under
under the category.
It is projected that. Yeah.
But the thing is, Boost was positioned only for the sports people, and Complan or the Horlicks was positioned with multiple features like for mother, kid, I mean like men, everything. And Complan is something that we basically as a childhood, from the childhood, we think if we drink Complan, we'll
grow taller. Yeah. So they have put
Still,
that in my mind. Yeah.
So this is what they have been keep on telling.
Repeat.
But if you know, like after some point of time, they change their positioning. It's not about the taller, it's smarter, stronger, and taller.
Correct.
So this is how they change the position, and then it comes on our mind. So this is how the positioning, I mean like the positioning or messaging or the marketing campaigns is not only to be used for a D2C, even I mean like B2C.
Any business.
Even B2B should also do this. There are multiple IT companies are known for a particular part of services.
Yes. True.
Because they position themselves only for that.
Correct. And they attract only that
Ideal
type of-
customers.
So let's touch upon growth frameworks versus performance marketing. What are growth frameworks? How does it differ from performance marketing? And define each.
The first thing I would say, like every company has its own different growth mechanism or growth framework. There are multiple growth frameworks. One is product
Why I'm
growth.
specifically asking this question is most people don't even know what the growth framework is. I'm aware, but for the benefit of audience, what is growth frameworks? And please continue. Yeah.
The first thing we say is the product-led growth. The next is founder-led growth. There is sales-led growth, marketing-led growth, and even event-led growth. Events. So we usually the B2B companies completely focus on event-led growth, or else a founder-led growth, or else referral-led growth. But there is
even founder-led growth, mostly referral-led and
event-led. But there are multiple things. But it's up to the founder and the founding team
management
to make sure which works better for them. As well as at the end of the day, it's all about CAC, which is customer acquisition cost, how it's been redefined. So for a product that has been used, I mean like to be frank, the cost that we use is something known as the PLG. So product-led growth. It grows by itself. I mean like people think promotions have been happening, but if someone is want to buy a car from a Honda, he's going to buy the car from the Honda. If someone is going to buy a car from Honda, he's still going to buy the car.
I think an amazing example of PLG would be the Maruti 800.
Yeah.
Iconic example of it was viral from the start.
Yeah.
It was affordable for the common man. They positioned it exactly correct.
So if we see, the messaging was clear.
Yes.
The positioning was clear. The ICP was clear. And still their promotion was clear.
Yes.
Everything was clear. But the product-led growth will not be the first sustainable thing to go, because someone have to show their face in front of the customers, which I would say the founder-led growth. And there are some multiple layers that the business have to grow from founder-led to sales-led, then marketing-led, then
Yes.
again it has to move to product-led growth. If a product doesn't sell by itself, it's not a problem, but at least it has to have the frameworks like sales-led and marketing-led growth. So
somewhere it has to start selling.
so that the strong bound of leads comes in. And the most problem why people suck their own profit margin is the lack of leads.
Correct.
Since the lack of leads, what they feel is like every customer is more important to them, and they'll go surrender themselves for a least price. And if you have a strong lead sources, I would be open to say this, like in the last 6 months we have said less yes than no. We have said more no's to the customers because we find like
It is not
even
fit.
yeah, even the only reason is we had a huge chunk of leads coming in through multiple ways. While we discuss about the B2B marketing, all the marketings, I would be explaining but the last month, January alone, we got around 97 leads. In that 90% of this thing, we said no.
It's not your ICP.
Yes. But the thing is, why we are selling no is because we are strong enough to say that we are getting more number of leads.
Correct.
How lead comes in, the way
That's
we
an amazing
promote.
question to be in.
Yeah. That's how a B2B can scale.
Correct.
A B2B can become a profitable. But if you don't have the funnel or the channel to bring in more number of lead, be it outreach or else be it inbound strategies, it has to bring some lead. And I was been telling about the 4 wheels, in which after content, the final one is again outreach through the cold audience. So that's something we have to do. The biggest mistake even I did was my company's complete frameworks was either a founder led or else a marketing led. We were not focusing on a sales led since before.
other channels.
So yeah, how it could impact is it could impact the life of a founder. that's
True.
From a point it has to be systematically moving outside of the founder, and that's
Plus, it becomes a risky proposition also.
Yeah.
No, eventually it becomes a risky proposition.
to be frank, we know the founders of company like Wipro, Accenture or else
Correct.
Infosys, but are they running the show? It's
No.
really not.
Yeah.
So that's how the
I
company.
think founder-led growth is a very recent, maybe past 5-6 year phenomenon. But traditionally, businesses never had only the founder's face in front and no marketing for the founder.
I can be with you in 2 angles. The one is in terms of industrial specific thing, I would say yes.
Yes,
If it is an IT services specific thing,
it's a no.
that happens only because of the founder.
Correct.
Yeah. And to answer your questions, what is the difference between growth marketing or the performance marketing? Performance marketing is anything that you do in terms of running profitable ads is known as performance marketing.
In simple terms.
That's so simple. So it's about profitable ads.
Okay.
So how an ad can be profitable is when you spend on an ad for, let's say $10,000 in a month or else in a year, and if you could take at least 10 leads in which 2 converts and the ACV value is 200k out of that, then that becomes a profitable. At least even if you say $20,000, it is profitable.
Okay.
So this is how we calculate. And in terms of B2B, we can't be assured as such D2C, if I spend
X
100 rupees, I will get 150 rupees the next day. No, that will not happen because there is an waiting period that we have to follow up. We have to give quotations, and there is
multiple layer of decision makers.
And a single transaction can, the sales cycle can be between 3 to even 1 year, 2 year.
Correct.
Depends upon the ACV that we are going to quote.
Correct.
But the thing is, when we have a strong pipeline, that's what we say is a strong sales pipeline, which is in qualified lead, and we have sent a proposal to them, and either we are in a negotiation or else they finalize the negotiation. This is what we call as a sales pipeline. So when you have a strong sales pipeline, that itself will make you run faster. So this is
because you have enough work, no?
Yeah.
Huh.
And in terms of growth marketing comes with anything that deals with data as well as a rapid experimentation, and it also focus on customer retention and customer referral.
Okay.
So the basic concept of the growth marketing relies on how you increase your customer lifetime value as well as how you increase your revenue per customer. So customer lifetime value is something the amount they spend on you.
The number of times the customer spends on you and the time period a customer spends on you. Value. Yeah.
The revenue. And average revenue per user is something that we have to look at. And when you look in this particular way, you will not make sure your customer is sold to you just for a one time. I mean, like one product or one
Recurring.
service.
Recurring.
It's been recurring. At the same time, you will be upselling your other services so that the average order value on that particular customer also increases. So this is how the growth marketing works. And growth marketing couples with both digital as well as traditional. You might be seeing the ads of Odo or else
Yeah.
Zoho, both in digital as
well
well as
as-
in traditional.
Yes.
Even the cars they usually give for Odo as well as Zoho
Correct.
payments. You might be seeing billboards near airports. I've seen multiple billboards of Zoho in Bangalore.
Odoo also. Yeah.
Odo also.
Yeah.
Even Odo conducts offline events in every city. See, not even tier 1, it considered on tier
Tier
2,
two,
tier
tier
3,
three.
everywhere.
Yeah.
So when it comes to B2B, I would not only specifically say that you should only use digital way. That's where the growth marketing comes in.
You have to take a 360 approach.
Yes.
Right? You have to be everywhere, and based on what is working, you put money into that channels, and based on the business again.
Yes.
We can
I mean,
say
like,
only
I usually do this way. Wherever we work with the clients, we also take care of the content marketing where we support them with the webinar kind of thing. So what we'll do is like the first participant or else like the speaker of our clients would be their clients. I mean, like their prospecting clients.
Okay.
So-
ideal one example of an ideal customer would be as
That's the speaker. So it's very easy to speak with them
connect.
rather than asking for a business than asking as a speaker.
Correct.
There's a
True.
point of
Yeah, yeah.
very easy to them. Once they come in, we can easily pitch our business and they'll also ask. I mean, like we are a human, right? So if someone is helping us, we also ask back to them like what you do, and that's where we have to pitch.
Yeah.
So it can be for webinar. You can
It's
also
like it is not a sales tactic. It is a mutual respect kind
yeah.
of.
It's I would say it's again a marketing.
It is marketing, but yeah.
And I mean, like as you have invited me as a speaker for this podcast, you can also invite your own target audience as a speaker. When it comes to podcast, you are going to sell him, and he is going to give you 1 hour of time.
Correct.
So
Very true.
these are the ways where we have to typically think. I mean, like this is not a digital marketing way. It's a marketing that use multiple our own brain into multiple dynamics, and we feel like what works, what doesn't works, and for this we should collect data. So for an example, like if you are doing 100 podcasts and in which 70% of your speakers are target audience, you use your outreach team to make sure they are your speaker.
Yes.
And out of the 70, if 7 people have converted as a customer, then this podcast is so successful.
Yeah.
That's how the data part works. What happens is like when people usually put a billboard, they usually put in copy and they leave it. If it is a case where they put a promo code and if the promo code is being used by the customers to sign
They
up
can directly
any product, they could understand which
Channels
billboard is working. I'm not saying about the channel. Which billboard exactly is working. Which billboard is just waste of time, which is working.
Right.
Where I have to invest more, where I have to invest consistently, and this can be done for periodics. I mean, like if a billboard is working and the billboard has been kept for 12 months of time with different changes in the ad copies, they can easily get to know which kind of ad copy is working first. Second thing is which season it's working. So the next year they can be assured like they can block their time well in advance. These are the 3 months I need billboards, and these are the 6 months I don't need billboards. Again, these are the 3 months I need billboards. So this is how the data comes in, and that's what we usually say is growth marketing. So growth marketing is completely of marketing. It's not digital or traditional. It's marketing that should be taken a decision in terms
It can
of
be digital or physical, but
anything.
it comes under
that should be taken with the data as well as a rapid experimentation. So before even you launching a plan A, it should have plan B, plan C. So that if plan A fails, immediately you have an option to pull in plan B. So that's how we work.
Once you get the data from growth marketing activities, you put all your efforts into ads or digital side through performance marketing to enhance the performance of your ad campaigns.
I mean, like it depends. Like if a client comes in like, Ashkar, I'm not having that much fun, then we'll focus on content as one of the leverage thing. I mean, like when it comes to content, SEO is our key strength.
So let's get into that topic.
Yeah.
I think you started your agency as a SEO specific agency. Let's deep dive into SEO. Okay. SEO is one thing where Google is constantly, mainly Google is constantly updating.
And nowadays AI search engines also.
Yeah, AI also that we'll get to that. We have a separate segment of AI also we'll cover. Let's stick to first Google and SEO.
Yeah.
Okay. SEO, as far as my knowledge goes, the algorithm updates are off late, they're changing.
Even an update is going on, right?
Yeah. They're changing it like anything. So let's start from the basics. I am a company, I have a website, I'm preparing myself to get ranked on Google. I don't have much of budget. Let's start from there, and with budget but don't know where to start. These two categories will cover. Okay, so that it is covers a wide range of people. Let's start with, I have very low budget but I want to do some SEO so that I get some, I open that channel for leads. How does that person approach? Then we will get into the other, with money but don't know where to start.
Before going deep diving into this strategy part, I will say like SEO is something known as optimizing your content. I mean like content in terms of website or web pages for the relevant query. That is the keyword that you use in the page. That keyword has to align with the query your target audience search in Google. And before Google, there were multiple search engines, and Google was not the first one. Google is a dominant player in the industry. It's having its own market share, more than 90%.
Yeah.
And next, followed by Bing. Currently, I mean like as per the February or March data, the January, the first time, Google has shut down
Still
its...
majority is Google.
It's Google.
Line
Google
share is Google only.
Google has lost its share by 3%. It's by like 86 to 87% is now current market share. And the rest 3% is being taken by AI. It's kind of ChatGPT or Perplexity.
Yeah.
These are the two things have been taken. So this is to be precise. What we actually do when it comes to SEO is like whenever people come in, say they don't have a funds to invest in ads, SEO would be the only option to take in, because in terms of B2B, most number of even the decision makers use searching as one of their platforms.
Primary.
Last Friday, 2 days back, we got a lead inquiry from one of India's top IT servicing companies, which is having more than 2,500 employees. So if that could happen, SEO could still happen for even a smaller
company. Yeah.
So that's what my thing. We have booked an appointment with them on Monday, but still, how this happens, it's not an overnight success journey. It takes more number of time. We have in the practical way, in the last 4 years or 5 years of working with multiple projects. Before this agency, I was only working with a single project, which I was as an employee. So after that, we have been working with nearly 200 plus clients, in which almost 150 would be SEO into multiple dynamics, multiple industries. We have worked for B2B, D2C, B2C, even small, everything. And we have only one thing that we have found is Google looks, first thing is your branding. Your brand value matters a lot to Google. Second thing is consistent publishing of your content around a single niche. That's what we say as topical authority or also niche expertise. So let me put this example with you, and that's something that I've been quietly used in every forum that I speak about the topical authority. If you go to a glossary shop and if you still find an pair of shoes, will you buy shoes in a grocery shop or else you buy a shoe in a shoe showroom like Bata or else the Kadi?
We'll naturally go to Bata.
Why?
Because we associate the shoe showroom to where we purchase shoes and groceries for what we use at home, right?
Exactly, I would say it's a branding.
Correct.
Right? So branding matters a lot. The way we human think is the way Google also been thinking, because after 2019, 18, there was an update known as BERT, which completely on an AI model and a natural language processing. So it could understand what is the user's query, which language he used, what is the tone of him, and what the result I have to give to them. Even if you type, I have used this example, even if you type like best pharmacy in Mumbai, you will be getting a result for chemist in Mumbai. Because Google does know the pharmacist and the chemist are the same. So this is how it's been interpreting. And the first thing is, as I said, like the branding, publishing of consistent, the core content to build the topical authority or the niche expertise. Then again, keeping your keywords in the title, meta descriptions, and that's what we say as a HTML meta tags. So usually people say like don't optimize SEO for search engines or do that for users. But I would say like I'll split into two parts: content and HTML meta tags. Optimize your HTML meta tags for the robots, which is Google.
Can you bring it down to even more basic level?
Okay.
What is heads table?
Okay.
Because the first set we're talking less budget but want to do SEO, don't know where to start.
Yeah.
The second segment is with money, with budget, but don't know where to start. So from a base level, steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you have to keep doing consistently to start ranking. What would they be? It could be 10 steps also.
Yeah.
Same we can apply for here also, but with a faster...
Sure. First thing is, like as I said, like you should have a good brand value. People should search you every month. One of the
touch upon Google My Business thing also.
When it comes to B2B, Google My Business doesn't have a huge impact. Until unless you are targeting a local customer.
Okay.
Even in B2B, if you're targeting a local customer, that's fine.
Correct.
And if you are targeting international clients, I mean like
So,
international
US,
clients,
yeah, yeah.
then local business doesn't have much impact. But in terms of local businesses, I mean like if it is less than 5 kilometers arena, then of course GMB has its own value. See, the thing is, as I won't keep on telling, the first thing is branding, and you have to increase your brand search volume.
How do you do that?
Let's say like CNV engineering is your branding, right? So how many people would now currently searching? I mean like 100, 200 people now.
Maybe, yeah, thousands.
Yeah.
So 700, 800.
So when we increase to 2000, 3000 per month, your brand search traffic increases and your branding also increases.
So
What are the ways?
that is the metric we have to optimize for.
That's one of the metrics, I would say.
That is
So how we can keep on do this is like consistently participating in events, consistently investing as a sponsor in events, going as a speaker, so that many number of people,
other people are tagging you.
yeah, getting press release,
Right. Okay.
sponsorships again. So these are the ways you can increase.
Build that authority.
Yeah. And I would say the another best way is that having consistent hiring post in LinkedIn also increases your.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
That's one of the-
That is why we see many hiring posts that don't have that much of. They don't have positions also open, but they still posting.
I would say in
I've
two
seen
ways.
that.
I would say in two ways. One is like LinkedIn doesn't allows you to get more number of proposals with the free plan, and most of the people,
yeah, that problem is
including us, we use free plan to get the profiles, and it allows only 20 to 30, in which 25 would be spam. So it'll be just having 3 to 5 profiles, in which couple of people's notice period would be 60 days or 90 days. So we can't hire them, or else someone would be having high expectation, someone who having a high package, but they'll not be that capable. So again, we have to publish a post, and this is how the consistent publishing is happening. That's what I would say.
Let's come back. Let's come back to this thing.
So this is one of the way where you can increase your brand search.
Okay.
The second thing is you should be focusing on a one single core. Let's say
You can give any example.
I mean like let's speak about fabricating engineering.
Fabrication. Yeah.
Fabrications. If you're a fabricating service provider, you should only write about fabrications in your website.
You should not write random stuff.
Nothing should be there. And one of the thing I'm commonly seeing, especially in the B2B SaaS, is I'm not speaking about the industrial right now. It's about B2B SaaS is they write for traffic, not for business. So that's something they will be affected in the core updates that's been happening. If your homepage or your services menu doesn't resemble with what your content, your commercial, I mean like blog pages, it's in contradicting. So if you speak about marketing, speak completely about marketing. Don't speak anything out of marketing. And even as an human, if you read any wellness blog in Seven Eagles website, how you will find? True. Some crack has done some cracky jobs. That's what you like, right? So it's a spamming work, but that also will give traffic, and people usually fell down into something like I need traffic. And I could quote an example of HubSpot. Recently, what happened is like HubSpot fell from 2 million traffic to 800 traffic. I have even written an article about that in LinkedIn. So what we have found is HubSpot have started giving code tips to Gen Zs, females.
Yeah.
So kind of thing. Currently they have removed that, and they have again made a sneaky redirect. Yeah. They have removed that and they have made to a redirect. So what I personally feel is people usually go behind hacks rather than doing the fundamental things. Hacks can give traffic immediately, but the fundamental things can give you business consistently. So that's what I usually do. And even with this particular way of approach, we have seen that we are consistently delivering 4x to 10x traffic growth every year. So this is something that we are consistently doing, and even backlinks has its own power, and there are multiple things. Okay. So after you start publishing your content, you have to make sure it is visible or else like viewable or readable by the search engines.
How do you do that?
To make that, that's what I say about the HTML meta tags. So there are a couple of tags like title, meta description, H1, subheaders, kind of thing. And even if you don't have any knowledge, that doesn't matter. Your developer will be having these knowledges. So make sure the titles and meta description should be properly optimized with the keyword, because that's how Google will find out who you are, what you're telling about in this particular page. So if you don't make sure Google understand what your relevancy of the page, it will never rank you for that particular relevant query.
Right.
Once you rank, then the user comes in, and that's where they read the content. So that's where I split. HTML meta tag should be optimized for robots, and your content has to be written for the users.
Okay.
And nowadays, I mean, like you also will be having this question: can I write with the help of AI?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll come next to that. We'll come next to that.
Yeah.
AI, we have a small section. We'll cover AI in that.
Okay.
Okay. For those of you watching, if you find any of these topics a bit complex, just go to YouTube, take whatever keywords Ashkar has said, just type in and have a basic search about how to know about H tables, how to know about meta tags. You'll have a much, because the podcast length is allows us only to discuss this much. Please have a look
I
on.
mean, like the best way is just Google 7eagles.com.
Yeah,
Blog.
Google
You can
7eagles.com.
go to blog and you can search anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that would get them started.
Yeah.
Right, but they have to be consistent about posting, and they have to stick to their core topics.
Once they started, then they have to do proper interlinking strategy, because interlinking is something linking between multiple pages of your own website, and during the interlinking you will be having a text to link URL, and that text is known as the anchor text, and this particular anchor text also say the relevancy of this particular URL. So everything has to be optimized properly.
So if I want to find keywords for my niche, what are the tools that you would recommend?
I mean, like we basically go with SEMrush or Ahrefs. We use both the things as an agency. We have to do that.
Yeah.
So
Your business depends on that.
that. But if you are someone who doesn't have a
Budget.
SEO agency, one second
budget.
budget, you can use Google Keyword Planner, which is completely free. And just very easy to set up that too. I mean, like we have seen Google Keyword Planner and SEMrush have the same kind of a keyword search volume and the data,
Right.
90% exactly.
Right.
And even if you want to use these tools like SEMrush or Ahrefs, for that matter, start buying them from a group tools. Group SEO tools. There are multiple group SEO tools. I'm not partnered with anything.
Yeah.
I'm not promoting here, but just type
Search group by tools.
Yeah.
That's all we will tell.
Yeah.
So
Group by SEO tools kind of thing. You can just Google. There will be multiple players coming in, and it will be hardly 1,000 or 500, 1,500 something, and you'll get access to 60 tools.
I think if you do all this basics, you can cover, but like you said, you should first focus on the fundamentals, then chasing trends, and you should stick to your core topics.
I mean, like trend is fine, but hacks are
Hacks,
something-
hacks
is something. See, couple of hacks does work well. I mean, like as I said, like increasing your brand awareness is something that's one of the important hacks.
That's an external hack.
Yeah. But doing something to increase your traffic, for that matter,
Artificially,
you're bringing in bulk publishing of a content with the AI, or else like you're bringing in a content only for the matter it's having high search volume but low difficulty, and even if it is relevant to your core messaging, then that will be.
I think Google's algorithms are very smart to pick that up and instantly crush your site. Okay. So the next segment of people would be, let's say I'm an established company. I'm handed over my business to my son, and I'm moving away from the business. Okay. And my son wants to do all the digital strategies, but he wants to start with SEO. We have money. We have a website. We have hired an agency to do top class website. The website is modern and ready, but that web agency doesn't know SEO. Now I have money to spend. How fast? I think this question you keep commonly getting as a agency. Can you bring me results in 2 months? Can you bring me results? Correct, no?
Yeah.
So how fast is a realistic timeline? Again, it changes from industry to industry, niche to niche. On average, from your experience, let's say I have a budget of 1 to 1.5 lakhs to invest every month, and I have a team of 100, 200 people. I'm patient, but I want results as fast as possible. It could be within a year, it could be within 6 months also. What are your recommendations? Because that budget spending, they can put 5 lakhs initially and then spend recurring also. Those sort of people also might be there. You got the gist of.
Yeah, I got the idea. In this industrial specific, I would say there are a couple of ways.
Let us not keep it industrial specific. You understand the gist.
Yeah,
no?
I got. So I mean, like they are having
people
the
with
fund.
money.
Yeah,
and they want. They are ready to invest in.
Only thing is they need the result in just 2-3 months.
Yeah.
That's
shortest possible time.
Yeah,
not necessarily 2-3 months.
There is something known as Google Sandbox period, which will take 6 months for a new website to understand or break it out of getting the traffic.
Okay.
We usually understand a particular website's authority in 2 ways. One is how much traffic they get, and if they don't have a traffic, at least how much brand value they have. There are a couple of companies where we have seen 40,000 traffic, but all 40,000 traffic will come for their brand name. These case of website is something that we can easily gear up the traffic within like 6 months or 9 months of time, but with less than 6 months of time, nothing will happen. That's so clear. But after 6 months of time, they will be sure seeing some kind of result. 9 month a gear up. 10 from 12th month, there will be a smart movement. We have seen in couple of cases where the branding as well as SEO, which is branding towards help of Google ads and SEO have coupled in a huge way.
That is also a powerful
Yeah,
strategy.
that's a powerful thing. Yeah, that's something that we understand while we operated in a similar way, because that was a new website and the client was asking a huge traffic growth within 6 months of time, and it's a good pay. So we were reluctant to say no to them because it's a good pay, but we were asking to invest on branding. He said like, I can invest on Google Ads something, because he also getting good results in Google Ads. So we invested a lot in Google Ads. We invested,
But they were ready for that.
Yeah, they were ready, and we were investing like 120 content in a month, and we saw within 3 months the first 1,000 to 2,000 traffic came in.
Okay.
And in the 6th month we hit around 50,000 traffic.
But the traffic growth, if you do that, is exponential, no?
Yeah,
For 6 months, 50K is excellent.
I mean, like, the number of content we invested was high.
Right.
In the 6 months we invested around 700 contents.
Mm-hmm.
So every content matters a lot, and that's where, I mean, like, if you want a growth, you have to invest content in a very massive way. You have to invest on PRs, backlinks.
Yeah,
You have to invest
you
all
focus
kinds
both on branding as well as
Yeah, that has to be massive.
massive. Yeah.
If it is normal thing that we want to do, then the result will be more normal.
Slowly.
And if it is in a better case, where the first case I said, like, if they have a search volume of 40,000, 30,000, then in that case even a small efforts can bring results. Two ways we usually do. Even before we do prospecting as our client, we usually ask them to hire an SEO team under them,
Internal team.
and we can be a
Consulting, yeah.
kind of thing. But most probably that doesn't happen, because see, what we are trying to solve is, like, if a company doesn't have an experience and exposure about marketing or as a marketing team to set up, we solve their hiring problem, we solve their kickstart problem, which is like they have to hire an CMO or as a marketing director, then they have to hire a performance marketing head, SEO head, under them the executives for every
department
marketing,
needs teams.
and then the strategy, then a day to kick off that. But when it comes to 7 Eagles, within a 3 days of time, you will kickstart your campaigns, you will kickstart your ad, I mean, like,
See, I already
everything.
know,
We know what works, what doesn't work. We'll be having multiple ideas of how the similar kind of business have worked. We have almost 20 checklists to work with.
but these are all needed, right?
Yes.
These are all needed to get fast growth.
Yes, but the thing is, like, as a company grows in, they also try to set up an in-house
Internal
team, which we don't say no. They have the complete freedom to set up,
Correct.
but they should hire that kind of people.
Correct.
What I usually see is, like, the companies will be having 1 or 2 people, and they'll be very fresher or 1 year
That too for
experience.
time pass only. Most
Yeah,
of them for time pass.
That will not help. I mean, like, you should hire a smart people who is best in the industry, give them a best pay, keep with you, build the team.
And it is a long-term activity.
Yeah, of course. It took almost 2 years for me to rank as the best SEO expert in India for that particular page.
Even after knowing SEO
Yeah,
for
of
so-
course, it took time, because that's a competitive space.
Correct.
I mean, like, it differs. It's in industrial cases, it could be much better. I mean, like, less than a year, we can rank
Right.
a commercial keyword, because as such, most people, your competitors are not doing SEO.
Yeah.
So if you are there,
Industrial space is very
Yeah.
hard for this thing. Yeah.
you can reap the initial fruits.
Benefits. Yeah. Content marketing. What are all rest of the styles are there for B2B? Let's
Yeah.
keep it to B2B. Content marketing. What are all?
Basically, content marketing in many people's perspective stays only with blog and lead magnets or newsletters, to be frank. But content marketing
Even
goes again.
traditional way, they are still sticking to only banners and billboards. Correct? No.
Yeah, of course. But in this way, you can also use webinars consistently, doing LinkedIn Live,
Live.
you can
YouTube
use
Live.
YouTube Live, investing on social medias in terms of reels, educating your your customers. Also the podcast. So I mean, like, when you use content marketing, I mean, like, ABM as well as SEO, and you have this particular chain.
It's like a flywheel. No.
Yeah.
Everything works in sync.
Yeah,
They
when
see
you invest in everything, you will have a huge result. And content marketing as well as ABM couples with each other.
Account-based marketing.
Yes, account-based marketing. Yes. So how it works is, like, if you account-based marketing generally deals with, like, targeting 50 or 100 core customers and targeting them through multiple ways, through LinkedIn or else email outreach kind of thing. Before that, it's very easy to if you use a content marketing properly, you can invite them as a speaker. I would even say, like, if your target audience is in a particular niche, you can create a website for that particular niche.
Okay.
And make sure that particular
You
website,
drive the traffic there.
I won't say that. See, let me put this way. For an example, like, if my target audience are in healthcare, Okay, so healthcare companies like pharma companies, I can build a website where I will be listing top 10 medicines for this disease. And I can list down the companies. What I'll say is like someone is my target audience, I'll be speaking like, hey, I'm having this platform, this is getting these many traffics. I can also list you here. At the same time, I'm inviting you as a speaker so that your targeted audience and my target audience are same, who has to understand about the health. So you're giving an option as a speaker where you're promoting. Then you'll be writing about them in LinkedIn.
You'll be
giving
writing blogs also.
Blogs also.
Multiple channels you will be.
So you're also giving a listing for them.
Correct.
So this way you have been speaking with the customer for 4 times and you are becoming more close to them.
Correct.
So these are the ways you have to do or think on the content marketing part.
It's not about only learning about marketing. It's about innovating also.
Yes,
right?
That's what we actually do.
I think you can basically tell like SEO, performance marketing, we can use all these fancy words, but for each business or each profession, they have to figure out what is the best way they can do it.
The beauty of marketing is I'm looking into this like last 11 years. I was seeing something. Your strategy A works with a company, doesn't work
with another company. Correct.
So you have to look at multiple frame because it's not only about the platform, it's even about the customers. The customer's need differs, the customer's fundamentals are differs. See, the thing is like if a customer is getting their own customer at a cost of like $1,000 or $2,000, they'll not be ready to spend more than that in terms of any marketing channels that could consume $3,000, $4,000 to acquire a customer.
Correct.
True. Because their fundamental mindset is like they are getting already enough number of customers. That's it. So we have to work according to their mindset and we have to think what are the ways when we target multiple customers in years. A single click in Google ad cost around $40 to $60, which is closely 4,000 to 6,000 rupees. If I get 100 clicks, that's the only way I can get at least 5 leads.
$6,000, right?
$6,000, nearly 5.5
lakhs nearly.
It's gone for just 5 leads.
Yeah.
But what if I think this and if I don't do, only my competition is going to reap that. And that's the only way I can get at least 5 potential customers in which I can at least turn 1 or 2. If that's the case, I can earn, like 6 ROAs or 10 ROAs in a way.
Again, it depends on what product they're selling. Let's say if they're selling a 50 lakh rupee machine, they can spend for that this thing. But if they're selling small commodity items, they have to take a...
Yeah. In this case, if the customer doesn't have that much amount to spend, what we will do is we will make sure creating some pain point relevant videos in LinkedIn and making sure they land in a landing page. Then we retarget them using
Facebook ads.
No, like again, when it comes to B2B, come back to LinkedIn. Sell checklist. So if they buy the checklist, that means they are at least having an intent to buy your product. Then you should use the cold marketing strategy, the emails and the automations to make them nurturing in the process. Again, after that, you can also trigger them, retarget them using use cases, success stories. Right. So when they keep on seeing you, they will at least...
You will be in top of the mind. At least when some requirement comes. Now immediately if they don't have a requirement also, if they've consumed some part of your content, they will trust you more.
Yeah. And next thing is thought leadership campaign is something that people are missing out. So LinkedIn has its own feature in terms of thought leadership campaign. Like we might be seeing...
I do some credits also.
Initially, not right now.
Okay.
So just to set up an ad manager, they give credit, but not for the campaigns. So thought leadership, like every campaign will be running with your brand name. Thought leadership will be running with your name. Like it will be running for CV. So what I actually do in terms of thought leadership is like we'll take 50 to 100 top customers. In every company is like 3 or 4 people will be decision makers. So make their complete detail in Excel, upload into LinkedIn campaign, and this will be just an awareness campaign. It will not be lead generation or else email outreach campaign. Just an awareness.
Like if to compare in Facebook, you're boosting the post, no?
Yes.
Something
kind of.
Something.
But here you'll be boost yourself.
Correct.
So whenever you write a quality content, a thought leadership content,
push
them into your target audience mindset. So they'll be keep on seeing you. They will either follow or they'll DM. They can DM your service also. So these are the ways you have to do, and the world is evolving in a much better way, and the marketing will not be the same next 2 years as of you have been doing. The AI agents are completely going to change the game.
Now let's get into the topic of artificial intelligence. Okay. What is happening with artificial intelligence and SEO? Not only SEO, artificial intelligence, what is the current trending thing?
I hope everyone would be using ChatGPT.
Tools are getting released like 100 tools every week, I guess. So it's very hard to keep track of them also. But what is your take on
Okay, so
AI?
I would say like everyone will be using ChatGPT, and as I said, like the content
Gemini.
are being created with these Claude or things. This is basically known as ANI, which is artificial narrow intelligence, and we are moving towards AGI, and then in future might be ASI.
Yeah.
I mean, like AJ is artificial generative intelligence, and then SI is super intelligence, artificial super intelligence. So between this ANI and AGI, there's a phase which says about the AI agents. So what AI agents does is like it simplifies your work, and the current AI agents that have been available in the market is just streamlining or automating your workflows.
Day-to-day operations.
That's it. So there are multiple tools that you can create an AI. I mean, like AI agent, and one of my favorite is N8 and
Make.com is also there.
Yeah, Make is there. Even Lizer, which is one of our Indian owned brand, also does that. So these are the
some of the platforms that you can create.
we say as the AI agent studio, where you can create your
own workflows.
So I mean, like as an SEO company, I mean, like what AI can does for us, it could simplify something that we have been doing manually for hours and hours. So the more efficient way it will be on the strategic thinking. So again, I won't say like AI will replace the complete employees or like the executives, but the people who use AI can replace the one who doesn't know what is AI,
and it is much more productive also.
Yeah, of course, that's help us in multiple ways. I won't say like you don't blindly believe what AI says. Even ChatGPT says like I'm a chat robot. All the suggestions given by me cannot be true. Revalidate this. So that's how. But what I have seen is like whenever I write any content, we don't write content using ChatGPT because it will not be 100% humanized. What it is, we research content using ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini, and then with that particular research, we can take a better content outline.
Use it for brainstorming and better enhancement of.
Yes. I mean, like we would be thinking 5 points. AI will be giving 2 extra points. So that's where I use AI.
Correct. Not for writing the entire thing. Yeah.
Even in ChatGPT, there is something where when you are a premium user, you can create your own GPTs and you can train that.
Yeah.
I mean, like most of my LinkedIn contents are being created through AI.
Oh, good.
But none of my LinkedIn content seems like AI. It will be humanized.
Because I think you fed all your previous posts and
I'm feeding everything there. Every content has been fed. It's been trained there. So, and the beauty about the ChatGPT is it has its own memory. It knows all your way of tones, and that's a first stage. I would say. I'm not saying like that's the future. That's a first stage. And currently we are in an AI agentic thing. The wave is something bigger. People are investing, and we also do invest in AI SEO agent. That's not for selling. That's to simplify our work.
For your
our own work. And then once this is successful, then we have to create for ads, then for content, everything. We have
emails, newsletters, everything. Yeah.
Because this is something like when you automate the things, I mean, like it's kind of replicating you.
Correct.
I would say like for an example, if I build an AI agent for myself, what it does is like when someone is sending in leave request, if I connected, the agents have been connected with all the systems of my company, it will automatically go to my HRMS. It will be looking at how many leave balance he is having, and then what is the message. If the leave balance is good, approved, or if the leave balance is low, it will automatically say not approved. And what is the subject he has mentioned. If it is a medical leave, whether he has attached how many days he have taken leave or she has taken leave, and then is there a medical things are attached. So everything, if you could feed, this will automatically does its job, and it doesn't need you. That's the beauty of AI agents that's gonna happen. And it is something like it's a replication of you, so that most of your repeated task will take 0 minutes of your
instead
effort.
of like you completely sitting down and doing everything manually. It will give you like it's
a better
ready-made packet of meal. You just need to check everything, whether the salt and sweet are there, then just get it ready. And
so you get ample of time, so you can think on creating a better service, a better product.
I think you can get more creative.
Yes. See, using AI is still creative, but people doesn't like the most common way people use AI is something a bullshit, I would say.
True.
Just they'll go, can you please write on this topic? AI will kill you. It has to be maintained. Like first feed them who an AI is. Make them aware like you are a copywriting expert. Do you know about this industry? What are the pain points of the industry? Who could be the target of the industry? So when you ask these questions completely, it will be collecting about a framework where I'm gonna write for this particular persona, for this particular pain point. And you can ask them, what is the solution for this pain point? How will you address this? Give me 10 ideas. And after this just 10 ideas. No, I thought like you will be giving in this way. Can you please reframe?
It's basically a conversation.
Yes, that's how you can bring best out of AI.
Mhm.
If you just put simply, you will never get a best.
Correct. So I think we've covered a lot. Let's touch upon some last few points before we wind down. For industrial companies, what do you see are the mistakes that they make? Because we run a sales and marketing consulting agency. First thing is most of them don't even have a website.
Yeah.
We are not globally competitive yet. That is the cold hard truth. So for us to get globally competitive, whichever part of India or maybe abroad somebody is watching, for us to get globally competitive, specifically to the industrial B2B segment, what and all they need to focus on?
As you rightly said, the first thing I would say is they don't have a website. Even if I speak with many founders of the industries or manufacturing companies, they
I think
say,
you visited our expo in Chennai. Yeah.
I mean, like they'll say I have a website, this is my website URL, but that doesn't work. And if I ask this is not working, they would say the domain was purchased 10 years before from someone. I don't have a contact. So they'll lose their domain. They don't have a proper SSL certificate. The website will be as cracky as ever they'll be seeing. They'll not be seeing that much visibility into the website because their business is completely not run through
Offline.
to be frank.
Yeah.
But what website can make a bigger change is website is their online store first. And if someone is in need of their product from sitting from Germany, they can only order if their website is working. That's the number one.
Plus it will trust also.
Yes. Second thing is if they want to do an export import business, if they don't have a website, no one have a trust on them. Third is even in India, if they want to have any government tenders or something, they have to register only through the GEM portal. And the first criteria for a GEM portal is website.
Website, yeah.
Okay. And the next common mistake I'm seeing is recently we met an shipping company. They had a good fun, to be frank. Even they were average order value was same as our billing. That's everything is fine. But they were asking me, can you please give a WhatsApp status every day? I was like, why you need a WhatsApp status every day? No, my customers are saying that WhatsApp status. That's how they will come. I was just wondered why this. I mean, like, that's another point I just want to tell. Like, still they are believing giving WhatsApp message or is having some positive quote kind of WhatsApp message, having post for Pongal, having post for Diwali bring their business. That doesn't happen. So marketing is not that. And most of the cases, many people think digital marketing agency as a graphic designing agency, not a marketing agency. And most of the marketing agencies also does give their code because they get 20,000 or 20,000 from them and give 5 posts or 10 posts in a month. I mean, like if you just go back and think, it will never bring you any business. I would rather say use the 20,000 rupees, donate to some NGOs or else things. Both are same.
Or at least spend it on a course so that you can...
Yeah, of course, yes. So nothing is being written if you do that way. The proper way is start with a website, create content for your core pages, make it rank. If it doesn't rank, bring a landing page, run ads, create content marketing strategy, make sure you are presentable in every mediums that is running on internet. Use ABM strategies so that you can target 50 to 100 customers, focus them with multiple outreach as well as LinkedIn inbound strategies, thought leadership campaigns. For that, you want to become a thought leader in LinkedIn, you have to create content in LinkedIn. So these are the much more important thing than posting
about
Pongal wishes or something else. It doesn't have any use, to be frank.
True.
But that can be of use to connect with your customers through a WhatsApp message, not through a social media status.
Correct.
I mean, like if I send you Pongal wish or Diwali wish, you will be thinking, okay, hey Ashkar, thank you for wishing me and I wish you the same. That's why we can get some connection. Then we can bring in actually the next day, hi, we have been speaking about this and it's been so long. Can we connect again? So that's how the communication may happen, but leads will not happen.
Correct. Inbound
doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Only your existing customers can react to your messages. Okay, I know this person. Okay, he has been speaking with me for the last 6 months. Let me respond to him because he is just wishing me. That's what will happen. But as I said, there are multiple things that has to be done rather than just posting a wish or as a motivation.
I think if they want to get into exports or expand their business beyond the borders of the country, you need a proper branding.
Yeah.
Because especially digital presence today, because that is the first impression that you give an external, plus a website works for you 24/7. All valid points. Yeah.
I mean, like I would say, like bring more dollars into India.
Yes.
That's the best way to grow India.
Earn in dollars and spend in rupees is the best
way. First thing.
Yeah.
Second thing is dollars growing day by day like a hell.
Correct.
Rupee is still sitting at rupee 1.
Correct.
right? So we have to think on that way. So obviously you have to invest on the ways where you can penetrate into the US market, UK market, UAE market, so that you brings in dollars, pounds.
I think the
euros.
fundamental to all this is learning.
Yeah.
Constant learning and constant experimentation. That's all I think marketing is all about, right?
Yeah, of course. Yes.
So that's it. Thank you,
Thank you so
Ashkar
much.
bro, for coming so far and spending your valuable time here. I
It's a
think
pleasure.
for whoever stuck around till now, you found some value. You heard a lot of new words. We would suggest, apart from the podcast, please go research. Please go learn a lot about these things, especially if you're running any type of business. Whatever Ashkar has said is not only for industrial segment, it is for almost all segments. Marketing is marketing. Forms may vary,
Yeah.
shapes may change, but at the end of the day, whatever he has said applies to all businesses. So thank you so much, bro. Any final words for our audience?
I'm like, my best wishes in advance. Like, I want every businesses from India to dominate the global market, and to do that, as you said, like constant learning and constant evolving in terms of multiple channels like marketing, sales, and everything has to be done. Yeah, bring more dollars into India.
Yeah, our entire base for this podcast is to spread the knowledge from professionals like you and many more industry people, because awareness is lacking.
Yeah.
So somebody has to do it. We are doing our small part. So thank you so
Great
much.
prof. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.